Hello class. This video is going to go over the assignment guidelines for the director's interview. So in order for us to go over the director's interview, I first wanted to show you the assignment guidelines. I'll also show you the location in the module and where to find and submit these items and the grading rubric. So please note that in future video sessions, this date may be different and you can locate the correct date on the course calendar. Let me show you where that is. So the course calendar is located on the main menu right here where it says course calendar. So in terms of our assignment, the purpose of the assignment is to analyze administration skills and components required for the position of a director. And we're looking specifically at directors of early care and education programs. And this goes back to the student learner outcome number 1 of the course located in your syllabus. So please know that you also could interview a person with the title of site supervisor or program director. All of those particular job titles meet the requirement. So what we're going to have you do to prepare for your assignment is you need to read chapters 1 through 3 of our textbook before conducting the interview. I also recommend that you participate in the group discussion boards for chapters 1 through 3 as well. So prior to the interview, you're going to develop a list of 10 questions to use in the interview process. So you'll need to meet with a qualified director and conduct a face-to-face or phone interview. I do not recommend email interviews because you miss out on the opportunity to ask clarifying questions in an email. So students then will reflect on the director's responses, and you're going to write a paper, actually type a paper, that details the skills and components required when you're a director. So the materials that you're going to need is you'll need paper and something to write with. You can ask your person you're interviewing if you're allowed to tape it. Please know that you cannot tape someone without their explicit permission. A computer, and then also APA resources, because I do ask that you cite information from the textbook that we've learned in class when you submit your interview reflection. So to prepare, again, I want to make sure that you read things ahead of time. So you're going to read chapters 1 through 3 of the textbook. You're also going to participate in the group discussions and identify a director of a licensed child care facility in your community to interview. So I do ask that you call them in advance or email them in advance and ask if it would be okay to interview them, and then make sure you schedule a date and a time. So please know that directors are so busy. They are very, very busy. We do not want to be a no-show because they're actually carving out time for you to come. And if you can't make it, contact them and please reschedule. So the interview questions have to minimally address the following 10 areas. So I want you to be able to ask a question on the following. One is, what's their administrative style? What's their role? I also am interested in you asking them about their personality qualities that contribute to being a director. What type of curriculum models do they use with children? What is their leadership style? How do they resolve conflict? What is their program's mission and values? And you could also use objectives or goals in place of values. What type of program do they administer? What is the organizational structure? How do they involve family? And what is their education and professional work experience? So you are totally allowed to ask additional questions, but minimally I want you to address those areas. So after you interview the director, I'm going to have you reflect over that process, and I want you to write up for me, type for me a paper that goes over how it went and the experience. So in that paper, I want you to provide an introduction that describes the program that the person is overseeing. It gives me their educational background and professional work experience. And then I want you also to consider the following questions. So while you were there, what types of things did you learn about being a director? How did you learn in the interview process that is connected to your course content? So that's where you're going to have to use citation and APA formatting. How was the interview process? So what did you like about it or not like about it? And then if you were a director, is there something that you would do differently? So I want you to finalize your paper by providing me 2 takeaway lessons that you would use as a future director. Okay, so when you submit it, I need a typed list of your interview questions with a summary of the director's responses, and then I need you to do your paper that is in APA format. So that's going to include a title page using in-text citation, okay, and also a reference page. So I am going to grade your paper using the grading rubric for the director interview. So in the class, you're going to notice that if we're in Module 1, that the information to prepare is above. And then if you click in Module 1 assignments, you'll see you have the discussion boards first. And then here we have a folder that has all of the information regarding the director interview. I did want to point out also that the director interview submission link is here. So in order to submit it, you would click on the interview, and then you can browse your computer to go and find your document. You also can actually copy and paste your paper into the comments section if you'd like to. And then when you're finished, you're going to click submit. So you can also put in multiple documents. So you can add your questions separately and then have your responses and then your paper. I'll leave that up to you. So if we look here in the actual assignment, there'll be the video. Here's the guidelines I referred to in the video, and then here's the grading rubric. So when you're using a grading rubric, you want to make sure that you address each row. Okay. And then also we want to work towards the 4 column. If you work towards the 1 column, you're not going to have a very good grade. So the first thing I look at is the guidelines. Did you submit the questions? Did you actually conduct the interview in a typed reflection, and is it in APA format? The reflection itself is broken into 4 categories. So I'm going to look at your questions. I want to look at your introduction paragraph about the director you interviewed. The summary, which is the part about the questions and the textbook connections, and then the future application. And as always, this is a transferable course, so we're going to look at writing mechanics. The other thing I wanted to point out is on the main menu of our Blackboard course, you'll see APA resources. So if you click on that, you'll notice that I have lots of good stuff here for you. So there's a PowerPoint about APA. I give you a sample reference page. Here's a paper that you can look at. Here's information about how to set up your paper. And then I have 2 videos. One is for APA format using citations, and the other one is setting up a paper in Word 2010. So if you have any questions regarding the assignment, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm here for you. You can reach me at tropke@hancockcollege.edu.